What compliment do you still remember being given? At the conclusion of a church funeral service, the widow stopped by to see me at the organ console before proceeding to the cemetery. She said, with both smiles and tears, "I want to thank you for your uplifting music. It made my husband's funeral a celebration of his life, rather than a sorrowful occasion. That is one wholesome compliment." Holy yes. That's amazing. Way to go. You obviously brightened her day as much as she brightened yours. Not sure if this was a compliment, but when I showed my grandmother my first office, she looked at me and said, "This was the reason why I came to America and worked day and night in the restaurant." I'm glad that she isn't disappointed in you though. Smiley face. That woman must have been really hard working. Say hello to her for me if she's still alive and kicking. In 7th grade, I wore my favorite shirt to school and someone said, "Cool shirt." Felt so good. I wore that shirt at least once a week for the next couple of months. Then someone said, "Why do you always wear that shirt?" Felt so bad. I only wore it to school again when all my other shirts were dirty. You should have said, "Why, you always looking at it?" I was in the drive-thru of a McDonald's and the young lady working the window said I had beautiful eyes. This was 10 years ago and I'm still riding that one. She said beautiful ice. They had just gotten a new ice maker installed that morning. A female ex-coworker of mine said, "My eyes are beautiful." Lol. Was very flattered. Today a guy at work told my coworker I'm quite a cool dude and that they should take care of me. A group of drunk girls in a bar gave me a hug because I smelled yummy and wanted to smell yummy too. Drunk girls give the best compliments. Drunk girls in bathrooms are always the best. I was angry once because of a boy, and she thought I was drunk like her. She put her brand new water bottle in my mouth and told me, "Shush, drink this." Yeah? About 4 to 5 years ago, a girl in my college class said I had nice pants. I looked at those pants like they were the cure for cancer after that day. Dude, I literally met my wife by saying, "Cool pants" in college. That was 5 years ago. I had to reread your comment a few times just to make sure it wasn't somehow related to me. Bon pantalon. When I was chilling at a festival, some dude came up to me out of nowhere like, "Hey, listen, I hope I'm not being weird or something, but I saw you and had to come over and tell you I dig your style. You really nailed this look. It's really unique. I just thought you should know." And then he just left and I never saw him again. Love those good festival vibes. A drunk woman at a bar was walking past me and stopped and said, "In case anyone hasn't told you, you look really good tonight," and then kept on walking. That was 3 to 4 years ago. Still makes me feel good when I think about it. There are 3 types of people who tell the truth, children, angry people, and drunk people. Heaven help you if you run into a drunk, angry child. That was probably me. I do that type of thing a lot when drunk, but my compliments are always sincere. When I was about 15, very depressed and with body dysmorphia, my mom and I visited the perfume floor of Harrods. I was there in a hoodie with unwashed hair and too anxious to speak to any of the staff. When we got to one of the perfume shops and sat down, the very gentlemanly salesman told me I had a beautiful smile. After talking a little with my mom and giving her a few testers, he gave me a tester he said I might like, and he'd written the name of the perfume on the card. It was called Love Don't Be Shy. Always sticks in my head as being one of the loveliest interactions I've ever had, even though it obviously didn't mean anything. When I was in high school, I was put in a special math class for students that weren't so good in the subject. We learned the same things, but the class just went at a slower pace. I took AP English and history classes, but math and science were essentially foreign concepts to me. I guess so I kind of needed it. In 10th grade, the math teacher my special math class was Mr. Smith, not real name. Mr. Smith was the football coach and just had a reputation for being this very stoic and stern individual who many students were afraid of. No matter how much of a rebel you were, no one f around in a Mr. Smith class. One day towards the end of the year, Mr. Smith told me to stay behind for a moment when I was leaving his class. After everyone left, he told me that he just wanted to let me know that he saw how much I was improving and that he was proud of me. I left that class and almost cried. What he said was so simple, but coming from him it meant so much. He never gave out compliments and always seemed like more of a tough love type of guy. I always worked hard for my grads, and at that time I really needed what he said to me. A super cute guy working in a food truck took my order and said to the cook, "1 burger and fries for this beautiful girl right here." Then when he gave me my food he said, "Here you go darlin'," with a wink. Big swoon. Even if he was being nice, it really made an impression on my very insecure 24-yo self. Lol. I'm 5 feet 2 inches and petite. I know it's average, but I've always felt small. In college, an acquaintance and I stood up after class. She looked at me and said, "I always forget how short you are. Unincorporated. You have such a big presence. Whenever I feel small, I think of this and stand taller." This one was funny when read with your username in the quote. Made it seem like she was referring to the fact that you are not a business. Lol. That is a baller username for only being 1 year old. Nice snag. I frequented a toy store in town when son was small. One day I learned the staff's nickname for me was Jessica Rabbit, which I took as a compliment. Ooh, that's a good one. I read the words toy store and Jessica Rabbit. Made me think of a very different toy store. In my latest mugshot picture in the description it said Slim. This is my favorite one. My best friend's mugshot picture is literally the best picture ever taken of him. Slim Shady. Someone said I had a great personality when I felt like the most boring person in the planet. Made me feel so much more confident. I spent weeks alone during lockdown, and when I finally ventured out, I got chatting to a woman. She said, "Well, you are a really interesting person. I'm glad I met you." That was so nice to hear.